Hi everyone, I'm back with another client makeover. This is my girlfriend Italia, and today we decided to do more of a classic smoky eye. I think she has a very Pamela Anderson look to her, so I wanted to give her makeup that kind of matched that. So first I just prepped her skin with a moisturizer. Now I'm just going in with MAC Painterly and priming the eyes. Of course, I do this always before every step. Now for brows, I am using the Anastasia brow pomade in the color light brown. Italia likes a more natural, thinner eyebrows, so I'm just accentuating her natural shape. I like to make it a little softer in the front part, as you can see, so I'm just using the brush to kind of flick the product up into the front part of the brow. Now for eyeshadow, I'm using the Morphe Bronze Goals palette. I just got this palette and I am obsessed with it, you guys. I'll list all the colors I used down below because I don't really remember. I have to kind of look at the palette again. And then for the lid, I took MAC Dip Brow. This is a gel eyeliner, but I'm using it as a base because I want her to have a really dark lid. And I'm just blending that with a blending brush all over her lid, kind of softening the edges, and then going in with a darker brown, kind of between that crease color and the lid color we just did. Adding in this darker color will just ensure that everything transitions really well and blends out. Blending really is the key, especially for darker eyes like this, and also not bringing it up too high. So if you notice, there is still space between her brow and the lid color. Now I'm just going in and softening everything with a fluffy brush. You do want to make sure you do this step one eye at a time with the gel liner, just because it does dry pretty fast. So just to ensure that it's nice and blended and seamless, definitely do it one eye at a time. Now I'm just going in with black. I decided I wanted to make this look a little bit darker. At first I was going for more like a chocolatey smoky eye, but now I want it to be darker, so I'm just taking black, mostly placing this in the outer corner, but I am working it in towards the center, if you guys can see. So I'll usually put a little bit of the black product on my brush, and then I'll go in with a brush with no product on it, or something fairly lighter like the crease color, and just kind of soften everything. Now for the inner corner, I wanted to have just a little bit of shimmer, so I'm taking a more bronzy color, placing it in the inner corner of her eye, and then just blending it out towards the outer black shade that we just did. Wiping off the fallout. This is why we do the eyes first. Now I'm going in with that black shadow and also doing an eyeliner in the waterline. And then just softening the lower lash line with that same crease color. I'm going to go back in after I do foundation and touch this up because sometimes it gets a little bit diffused. Now for top eyeliner, I'm using Inglot number 77, and I am giving her a little bit of a wing. For me, I found the easiest way to do this on clients is to do the regular eyeliner first and then add the wing on after. And as you could see, I'm going in like little strokes versus trying to get it through the whole eye shape. That will just make it a lot more difficult. Now just prepping her skin. This is the Fenty primer. This is for oil control. So Italia gets a little bit oily, so I am just making sure she's matte and her makeup lasts all day by priming her. Now for foundation, I am using Studio Fix Fluid by MAC. This is in the shade NC42, I believe, and just placing it all over cheek, chin, forehead. Also the neck, I always want to make sure everything is blended. You don't want to have that line, between your neck and your chest. And, as close as you can get it to someone's natural shade, there's always going to be a slight difference between skin and foundation. So every single time I do someone's makeup, I always bring it down their neck and slightly on the chest also. Then for concealer, I am using Tarte Shape Tape. This is my go-to, especially for super glam looks like this. It just covers really well and it lasts a really long time. I also love the Jouer one lately too. So just placing this kind of in an upside down triangle and getting really precise without covering the under eye smokiness. So after this, we'll kind of go in and touch everything up, but I'm just pressing it in with this Morphe brush, and then usually I'll go in after with my beauty blender, or in this case, Real Technique sponge, and kind of press it into the skin so there's no creases or lines. Then going back in with that crease color and a blending brush and just touching up anything that got erased when we did the under eye concealer. For her contour, I'm using the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick. This is in the color Almond. I've been loving these for contouring lately, so I'm applying it with my Duo Fiber foundation brush. I just applied the product directly to that, and I'm putting it under her cheekbones, forehead, a little bit on the jawline. To accentuate her nose, I'm highlighting the bridge of it and lightly contouring the sides with cream products once again. And then I'm just going to go in and set everything using Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. This is in the shade 2. And I'm just pressing that into the skin versus kind of fluffing the product around. It'll just make sure that it really locks in the foundation and all the other work that we did. Now just baking, so I'm doing this under the eye, under the contour. And then while I do that, I'm applying mascara and her eyelashes. And after that, I'm just dusting off the excess powder. I'm going in with this highlighting stick from Anastasia just to apply right under the brow bone. Sometimes I'll do this to kind of bring down the crease color a little bit also. Like I said, you want to make sure that crease color doesn't come up too high because then your smoky eye starts to look a little bit messy. So moving on to lips, I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. And for the lipstick, I'm using MAC Cream de Nude, and I'm just applying this with a lip brush. And as you guys can see, I'm using that little powder puff to make sure my pinky doesn't touch her face makeup and mess it up. So I mentioned this in my last video, but clients really appreciate this, and I find it really helpful also. And then for her highlight, I'm using this MAC highlighter in Oh Darling, and then we're just going to top it off with some Morphe blush. This is, I believe, the Cool palette. And then just adding some gloss. This is MAC C-thru. And last step I'm doing is applying this Fenty highlighter to her collarbones, and I'm just going to blend it throughout the whole chest area. I am obsessed with this stuff. It gives such a beautiful glowy finish, and it looks so good on brides or anyone that's really wearing like a nice low-cut top. You can apply it to the arms and legs too, like for a beach photo shoot would be really pretty. And that completes our look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what other videos you guys are interested in seeing. I love you all and hope you have a wonderful week.